Josephine Lyons opened her first solo exhibition at the Jam Factory, Oxford last Thursday. The exhibition, titled I'm in Love with the World, showcases 54 of Josie's works from 1990 to 2010. She graduated from Goldsmiths College London in 2006, which is training ground for now famous artists like Damien Hirst, Anthony Gormley and Lucian Freud. Since then she's been featured on BBC News, been in the national press and has been hailed as one of the most promising young artists in the UK at the moment. I caught up with her to find out why she called the exhibition I'm in Love with the World.
It came from an openness to different experiences, an interest in people. For the last 20 years I've spent exploring the different kinds of forms of art language. There is a narrative throughout the show. What I've aimed to do is try to make it much more open-ended. So I hope that there'll be space to sort of have your own input in relation to the works, and also the artworks allow you to imagine other spaces. And so it's based on experiences and ideas that have interested me across many different years.
You speak about other worlds a lot in your art, and I wondered if your paintings enabled you to escape into other worlds.
I think in life there's so much richness and different experiences that can be had, and if you just capture one moment, it becomes representative. You know, people are much more complex than that, and the narrative, the way that we collect things, the way that we think about things, is much more advanced than that. So I hope to reflect the movement really, and the potential, and also with that allow for the maximum potential for development as well.
My favourite piece is the sculpture where you've weaved your own hair, and I wondered how and why you decided to do that.
I try and create new forms of language, new words, let's say, new vocab for me to look at different contexts, because I think it helps make things accessible. So I was like, okay, how can I do a new form of, like, how can I address the issue of creating something new in painting? And I normally just mix two different processes that relate but are different. And so I was like weaving a canvas. Well, I was like, hair's dead, painting is dead to some degree afterwards. And I was just literally like, oh, if I mix the two, I wonder what I'd get. And then I looked at it and I was like, but with painting, there's an action as well, which has to be, you know, presented. So I took the paintbrush and made the hair out of the paintbrush as well, so to keep that level of expression and sort of, you know, so it's active despite being no longer alive. And I thought that sort of related to our hair as well, so I thought that was quite nice. Although I was absolutely terrified when I cut it all off. I wasn't quite sure that was the right thing to do. The hairdresser looked rather worried because I was like, I want 3 centimetres by this. Precisely, not a centimetre more.
As you grew up, was art part of your upbringing?
I've been encouraged since I can remember. I said age 4 in the press release. My mother corrected me and said, oh, you've been painting since you're 1. And I was like, oh, okay. And to be honest, I've always, since I can remember, had a paintbrush in my hand. I wasn't very good with words. I didn't know how to explore or understand. And I then was given a different language to communicate within. And that's when I started at school. I had an outstandingly good teacher. And then other people liked it, so I got to share, you know, I share different experiences and get feedback. So this way of looking things developed, and hopefully was also interesting for other people. And I was just like, wow.
Lyons' work of 54 paintings is for sale, and the exhibition is running until the 23rd of May.